From Big South Media Day in Charlotte, North Carolina, my name is Nick Pierce alongside Alan York, and just kind of recapping the day here. First of all, before we even talk about any basketball, let's talk about that breakfast. A little French toast, a little bacon.
Hash browns.
It was solid,
Did you get the
wasn't it?
biscuits as well?
I did not have the biscuits.
You should have sat in the back where I was. They were hot and fresh and fluffy. They were great.
Doggone it, man. I'm very upset now. Did you save me any biscuits at least?
No.
No? Okay.
But, that's all right.
Well, the Lady Flames, picked to win the Big South Championship, 17th time in 18 seasons here. Let's start on the women's side. Coach Carrie Green, very humble at the podium, as always, but this is a team that is expected to win big this year.
Absolutely. It seems like that way each and every year, and they expect that challenge, and they like that challenge, to be quite honest with you, because it would not be the same for them if they weren't picked towards the upper part of the women's poll. And he's got some good nucleus of players coming back. Ashley Reininger is back. Emily Frazier is one of the guards. So he likes his team, and we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, and then they get some other pieces back as well, like Jasmine Gardner coming back off the knee injury. Ashley Reininger, an all-conference selection, as you mentioned, kind of leading the way there. So a lot of experience back on that side of things. And then on the men's side, it's quite the polar opposite in terms of experience. There's a lot of unknowns coming in for Coach Dale Layer's team. Flames picked to finish 9th this season, but really, preseason expectation, you can almost kind of throw it out the window.
You can, and it's only for the media, it seems like, and the fans. The coaches have the same stock answer. It doesn't matter what you do now. We know in the Big South it matters what you do in March, and for that 3-4 day span, you build up to that. So the preseason polls, you can't throw them out the window for most of the coaches and the players.
Well, I think a couple of guys that we can talk about that we are expecting big things from. Tomas Gielo, first of all, is going to try to take his game to the next level this year. And then Joe Reddick. We saw Joe struggle early in the season last year, but once he kind of found his footing a little bit late in the year, he was able to kind of take over that point guard spot.
Yeah, and he last year was a sophomore coming out of junior college. The transition to Division I, it takes a while, and it might take a year for some of those players. And you hear the cliche answer, the game slowed down to him, and as that did, he sped up. The quicker he plays, the better he is. And I tell you, one player we're not even talking about is Andrew Smith, a guy that during the Big South tournament 2 years ago when they did cut down the nets, that was kind of his coming out party. We all know what he did last year, so expect big things from Drew as well.
Offensively, Gielo, a guy that can lead you in scoring, as Coach Layer was talking about a little while ago, but he's not a volume shooter. That said, it's going to be important for the Flames to get offense from a lot of different positions, isn't it?
It is, and that's something they really did not have last year. Things just really didn't collectively click for the Crew coming back last year. They had a lot of pieces back from that championship team, and I've seen Tomas in a couple of preseason practices. He wants to be a scorer, and he's taken shots and expanded his game, but it can't just be one person. This program and this team needs more pieces to the puzzle to come to the forefront and help them win.
Looking at the rest of the league here, I think one benefit of a day like today here in Charlotte is that you learn something more about the players away from the court, like a John Brown, so to speak. He kind of stole the show a little bit up there at the podium today, didn't he?
Yeah, you get to see them away from the court in a less intimidating environment. And I'm not saying the court is intimidating for them because that's what they love to do, but in some ways to see them away from the court, no pressure on them, to have a good time. And even the women's players and coaches we were around today said the same thing. It just goes to show you they are people away from the uniform, and that's always a special sight to see.
Well, looking forward to the opener for the Liberty Flames. That's coming up on November 14th. The Lady Flames and the Flames will open in the Vine Center there. Liberty playing Charlotte on the women's side and then Randolph on the men's side. So until then, for Alan York, my name is Nick Pierce for the Liberty Flames Sports Network.